Facebook and YouTube.
Right, sir.
Okay.
Rupali, you can take over.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. A very good morning and warm welcome to 6th day of Abhigyata Parv 2020. Today, we have with us a well-distinguished guest, Speaker of the Day, Honorable Dr. Vivek Mansingh, sir, Honorable Director General, IIST, IIP, IMR, Shri Arun S. Bhatnagar, sir, ex-Principal Commissioner, all the dignitaries of IIST, IIP, IMR, faculty and staff members, and all my dear students. This institute has progressed by leap and bounds after the joining of Honorable Director General Sir Arun Bhatnagar. Due to his industrious efforts towards providing best academics with holistic development of students, today we IIST, IIP and IMR stands among the top professional institutes in the region. He is awarded Captains of Industry for his visionary leadership by Honorable Chief Minister of the state. Sir, I request you to please virtually welcome today's prominent guest.
It is my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Vivek Mansingh, sir. He is a very good friend of mine, and we met in Bangalore when I was posted there. तो दो लफ्ज़ों में अगर उनकी शख्सियत के बारे में कहा जाए, जो मैंने एक्सपीरियंस भी किया, किसी को ना हो सका उसके कद का अंदाज़ा, किसी को ना हो सका उसके कद का अंदाज़ा, वो आसमां था और सर झुकाए बैठा था। तो विवेक भाई से जब मेरी दोस्ती जो मुलाकातें हुई तो मुझे इतना एहसास नहीं था कि वो मेरे मित्र के फर्स्ट कज़न थे और ये सिलसिला चला बाद में और हम लोग मिलते चले गए क्योंकि विचारों में समानता थी। अपार्ट फ्रॉम कि वो दुनिया के सबसे बड़े जो जिनके नाम सुन करके हम लोग प्रभावित हो जाते हैं, उन सब के साथ काम कर चुके हैं, चाहे वो माइकल डेल हो या हिंदुस्तान के नारायण मूर्ति हो, विप्रो के चेयरमैन हो, नंदन नीलकेनी हो, सबसे उनका 1-to-1 इंटरेक्शन है और उनके साथ उन्होंने काम किया है और वो उनके प्रतिभा से वाकिफ हैं। बहुत सारे पेटेंट उनके नाम हैं और डेल के कंट्री हेड होकर उन्होंने रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट को इंडिया में बहुत बढ़ावा दिया। पर अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस एकेडमिक एक्सेलेंस, जो उनका दूसरा पक्ष है उसके बारे में लोग नहीं जानते। वो एक बहुत शुद्ध मानवतावादी पक्ष है। कुछ हद तक मैं कहूँगा शायद गांधीवादी विचारधारा से प्रभावित, एक बहुत सादा जीवन और सरल व्यक्तित्व और एक आंदोलन से भी वो जुड़े हुए हैं जिससे हमने भी जुड़ने की कोशिश की थी पर ट्रांसफर के कारण नहीं जुड़ पाए। जनाग्रह, जहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स को फ्री में लोग जाकर के पढ़ाते हैं। तो इस तरह के कई आंदोलनों से विवेक भाई जुड़े हैं और उनके मित्र जिन्होंने इसको शुरू किया था वो वही है, वही व्यक्तित्व है जिसके ऊपर अपनी स्वराज्य फिल्म बनी। वहीं से यूएसए से आकर यहाँ पर किस तरह से छात्रों के बीच में रहकर उनका उत्थान किया जाए, वैसा प्रयास बेंगलोर में विवेक भाई ने भी किया। तो आपका स्वागत है और बहुत जल्दी ही जब हमारा कॉलेज खुलेगा हम आपको फिर बुलाना चाहेंगे ताकि स्टूडेंट्स आपके साथ 1-to-1 इंटरेक्ट कर सकें और आजकल के जो लेटेस्ट इंजीनियरिंग फील्ड में डेवलपमेंट हो रहे हैं वो बहुत ज़रूरी है उनका जानना, क्योंकि अगर दिस इज़ द एज फॉर सर्वाइवल फॉर द क्विकेस्ट, जो नहीं जानेगा चीज़ों को वो पीछे छूट जाएगा। तो इस जो फील्ड है CS और IT का, यहाँ 2 साल बाद जो पढ़ा है या 3 साल पहले जो पढ़ा है वो आउटडेटेड हो चुका है। We have to keep a pace with the rapid development in the technology. and we should make ourselves industry ready and market ready. So with these words, I again welcome you, sir, and thank you very much that you have accepted our invite on such a short notice. Looking forward to listen to you, sir.
Thank you, Arun Bhai.
Thank you so much, sir, for your welcoming word for our today's guest. Now, let me take the honor to introduce today's renowned guest, whose presence makes the program glorious. Dr. Vivek Mansingh, sir, the former country head, Dell India R&D Center, and President Cisco Systems, worked first with Ishani Networks and later Portal Softwares, serving as the managing director. Sir was at senior technology and leadership role in top technology organization in USA for 15 years. Beginning his career as a senior scientist with technology giant Hewlett Packard in California, he moved to Fujisto as a director of marketing and sales based at San Jose. He started ATTI Santa Clara as a founder and CEO, which was listed in Fortune magazine's 100 fastest growing companies in USA. Sir is currently a general partner at YourNest, an early stage venture capital fund. In addition, he is a board member at Tortoise VC, Royal Orchid Hotels, Innovatia, Velocity Global, and Janagraha, India's leading non-profit organization. Sir has incubated and invested in several startups too. He holds 6 USA patents. He invented an instrument, patented it, and licensed the technology to a Boston company. He has published hundreds of articles and technical papers and has contributed 2 books. Sir is a gold medalist from NIT Allahabad. He obtained his PhD from Queen's University, Canada, and an EMBA from Stanford University. Sir was listed as honored professional and national who's who for the United States in the year 2000. He is the recipient of Rotary Club's prestigious Paul Harris Fellow Award, Republic Relations Council of India's highest Chanakya Innovative Leadership Award, and IT Men of the Year 2016 for Enterprise Contact USA. For the most awaited, I would like to invite today's renowned guest whose presence makes the entire program glorious. Sir, may I request to enlighten us with today's topic, what does it take to be a successful engineer? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. You can all hear me well, I hope. Anyone can confirm?
Yes, sir, you're audible clearly.
Wonderful, wonderful. So first, big thank you to Mr. Bhatnagar. He's a family friend and more of a family than a friend. It is always pleasure to interact with him. You are very fortunate in your institute to have him as director. I visited your institute last year, maybe about year and a half back, and it is very impressive, very impressive. And I am also well aware of what Mr. Bhatnagar is driving there, and met several other faculty. So it's a great institution, and all the students who have joined the institution would be very happy there, and it will be a great learning opportunity. So with that, let me begin today's topic. Let me just get the PowerPoint presentation up. The way we will do it is I'll give a quick presentation, maybe about 20 odd minutes. And after that, a number of students have submitted questions. I'll take some of those questions which have been submitted. After that, if time permits, we can take some live questions as well. And that is how the program will go. So let me just pull up my screen here. And any one of you can confirm once you see it there. Can you see my presentation? Wonderful.
Yes, sir, visible.
Wonderful. Okay. So let me start. What does it take to be a successful engineer? My understanding is that the 400 odd students who have joined engineering programs. But in case there are other programs, in case there are students from other programs, it is still relevant to you. So it is equally relevant. I was given generous introduction by Bhatnagar Saab and the other person. I'll just show you some pictures of my background here. You will see I have been very, very fortunate to work with some of the people you may have heard the name of. At the top left corner are Hewlett and Packard. That is where I started my career. On the top right corner, I'm with Michael Dell, who started Dell. On the bottom left corner, I'm with John Chambers, who was CEO of Cisco when I was there. And at the bottom right corner, I don't need to tell you, that's Steve Jobs. And I had a fortune of working with him and have been a proud appreciation letter from him that Vivek couldn't have done without you. So have been very, very fortunate to work with some of these phenomenal people who literally created the electronic industry. Some other things that were said about me, you see at the top left corner, my patents, all are US patents. You see at the top middle is the instrument I invented and licensed to the Boston company. At the top right are 2 books where I contributed. And at the bottom left, you will see the Public Relations Council of India Award, Chanakya Innovative Leadership Award. I have given a lot of talks to the Indian Army as well, and I go to the border and interact with Army officers. So here you will see me, I'm honored by Lieutenant General at the Sikkim border. And the bottom, you will see again IT Man of the Year 2016, and then you will also see my Who's Who of the United States Award that we heard earlier. So that's the credibility I have. I have been head of Dell Research and Development. I was president of Cisco Systems. I worked in US, India, and so on. So that gives you a good background of mine to be able to ask any questions that you might have. Okay, let's go into the topic, right? So as an engineer who is beginning the career, here is my first advice, right? Develop knowledge. And this is, don't take it lightly. You are all in college, and we know college has a lot of sort of things going on. There's extracurricular activity going on. There are friends and so on, and you have to enjoy the thing as well, your stint at the college. But there is no substitute. You have to do well in your courses. Do not be thinking that, okay, the material that I'm being taught will be irrelevant in 2 to 5 years anyway, so why do I have to learn that? That is not the point. The point is you are given a task, and do you perform it well or not, right? So it's a 100-meter race. It's a 100-meter race. You have to run it well, and that is what you need to show. And when we interview people, even at very senior level, we go back to academics and see how the person did in academics, because it tells me how the person performed when he or she was given a goal of these many courses, and what is your grade point average. That tells me. So do well in courses. Do not think that this is not important or this will be forgotten after I get my first job. It will not be forgotten for a long period of time. Develop depth and breadth of knowledge. These are 2 different things. And to do well as an engineer, you need to do both. You need to have depth of knowledge, and you will have to have a breadth of knowledge. So let me explain what do these things mean. Let us say you are interested in IoT, Internet of Things. So before you go to Internet of Things is made up out of literally 20, 30 subjects. What is your breadth of knowledge in those 20, 30 subjects? It involves programming, it involves mechanical engineering, it involves sensors, it involves middle layer of software, it involves application software, it may involve mobile programming. So all these 10, 20 things you need to know, that will give you the breadth. And now if you are interested in, let us say, Internet of Things, then the depth of Internet of Things you need to also know. That is hard to know during your undergraduate program. Generally, undergraduate programs um, are designed for breadth of knowledge. But that is not good enough when you graduate. So towards the end of your career, that is third and fourth, not career, towards the end of your student life, third and fourth year of your student life, you need to do things which prove that you can actually learn depth, either by interacting with your professors, interacting with industry, doing some courses, but you know depth about that certain thing that interests you, and I'll come back to this point later. So let me leave it at this point that you need to develop both depth and breadth of knowledge if you want to be a very successful engineer. Any area that interests you, you need to develop subject matter expertise in that area. And it's very easy for me to ask a question to, even although I have not interviewed new college hires for a long period of time. But when I used to interview them, it would be very easy for, what is your favorite subject, right? It's a very common question. And people will say whatever they like, mechanical engineering, some subject, maybe dynamics, maybe thermodynamics, maybe computer science, C programming. Whatever you will say, then I can go deep into that. I'll say, okay, what did you like about this subject? What was your favorite thing? What did you like, dislike? What is the depth you have in that subject? That is a very common way to interview people. And so make sure that whatever you like, you become subject matter expert by the time you graduate, not at the starting of your college, but towards the end of it. Today, you are attending online classes, and it is amazing that your institution has provided all this help. But you may or may not know that today, every single class that is taught at MIT, Berkeley, Stanford, or any of the top colleges, IITs included in India, is available online. So you are studying at wherever you are studying, but nobody is stopping you from taking a course from Stanford in your area of interest. Make sure you do some of that, because when you are interviewing, it shows that you can take initiative, you are interested in learning, and you can figure your path through this. So it's very important, again, towards the end of your career, but you can even take some early courses that are available online. So that is about the subject matter, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have on that. Equally important is the skills that you need, right? So Mr. Bhatnagar mentioned that he's doing holistic development for students, which is very encouraging. It's a big problem in India, by the way. Not too many institutes focus on skills. They focus on academics only, which is not the whole story. So communication skills are very, very important. And these include speaking, presentation skills, listening skills, and writing skills. So make sure, I'll request Mr. Bhatnagar and the faculty to actually provide students opportunity to learn these. And I will ask students to actually take very keen interest in all of these. See, I come from Fatehpur, UP, a very small town. I'm a product of my government intermediate college, where in the early years I sat on the ground and studied up to, I think, 8th grade or so. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I got the seats and to sit in college. So I come from hardcore Hindi background. I come from government intermediate college. And I may have faced many of the challenges that many of you are facing, but nobody really cares what challenges you face. You have to figure out how to actually fill your gaps and become at par with anyone else who has graduated from anywhere. So I think it is very important that you take communication skills seriously, and they are all speaking, presentation, and writing. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions you have on any of these. Problem solving. Most of the top companies that hire, when they interview you, they give you a problem to solve. And they will observe how you actually approach the problem, how you solve the problem. Nobody actually expects a perfect answer. There may not be a perfect answer, but problem solving is skills you have to learn. Now, again, I will request the faculty and Mr. Bhatnagar to provide you opportunities of problem solving kind of projects. But it is very, very important that you learn problem solving skill. How do you think? How do you actually collect all the facts and then the data that will be the basis of the decisions you will be making? That is what we want to see. And that is not academic exercise. So they will give you a problem to solve, and in the interview or otherwise, they will watch how you go about solving that problem. What data you have in hand, how do you collect it, and how do you collect additional data, how do you create a plan and a strategy to solve that problem. So problem solving is very, very important. Teamwork is very important. Now here is a big challenge for especially Indian students. Indian students have been largely told from very childhood, you have to come first in class and you have to be best in class and so on. And we are generally competing with fellow students throughout our life. Even in engineering, right? You in some cases you will be cooperating, but in other cases you will be competing with them. That is fine. That is how it is. There will be only one student who tops the class. So there is nothing wrong with that. However, when you have to work in team, you have to be prepared for that, and there'll be ample of opportunities. I'm sure there's some coursework that will be given, which will be teamwork. There'll be projects that you'll be working as a team. Learn how you work in team. So in the job that when you go, I don't want to hire even an Einstein who cannot work with fellow teammates. So make sure you learn teamwork. And teamwork has itself a lot of topics. One can talk for a long time on teamwork, but it is very important for you to learn. In teamwork, you lose your credit. The team gets the credit. And that is the focus you have to have. So make sure in your projects, in your coursework that involves teamwork, you learn to work with the team and take the feedback from team. Hey guys, how do you see me as a team person? And you may be surprised. So it is very important, especially for Indian students who have been taught to compete from day one, to suddenly start working in teams. But if you work in Cisco's or Dell's or any other company, nobody individually is doing any work. They're all teams that are trying to solve some problem or developing some product and so on. So it is very, very important that you learn how to work in team. Learn how to be accountable and responsible, right? It has to stay with you. So it is very highly valued skill as when a professional engineer is hired and how he or she moves up in the ladder. How accountable they are. If I tell them something to be done, can I count on 100% that this will be done? Or after 3 days, when I check with them, they will say, yes, I tried it, but I am waiting for this information from this person. I don't have this. I would like to do. That is not really accountability. Accountability is that you are given a problem, you go and solve it. Take full responsibility of it. If you feel hurdles, you come back to the manager and say that I need your help in this. But once the problem is given, it is your problem to solve. And that accountability and responsibility is very important skill to learn. Again, that ties up with teamwork, but it's very important that you learn those. Attention to detail. This is again where India lacks and lacks big time compared to the students and the young graduates I have worked with in US. हमारा चलता है attitude actually makes us do this, which is attention to detail. We do 80% of the things right, but actually it is the last 20% that make the difference. So whatever you do in a project or a class or an exam or whatever, not only do the best, but pay attention to the detail and do it to the nth level. Make sure you do it well to every possible detail. The reason Steve Jobs was his attention to detail was phenomenal. I'm happy to tell you some stories, if the time permits, later on how much detail he could go into. Michael Dell, even when he was the CEO of Dell, a $50 billion company, in some cases he would actually install a product designed by Dell at his home or at his office, and firsthand he will design, sort of install it and see what problems customers might face. Now you would say $50 billion company, he could have had gazillion engineers to actually do this, but he did it himself. This attention to detail is, think about it like a painting. You like a painting because the attention to detail is given. Make sure that is showing up in every project and every activity you do, whether it's a sports or it is any project. Selling. Now you say, well, I'm not interested in sales. Why do I need to learn selling? Well, selling is not just about selling a product. How will you sell yourself? The moment your career begins, you need to sell yourself. So selling, you can't get away with. And selling is basically articulating a value proposition of whatever you are trying to sell, whether it is you or it is a product or it is a technology. So it is linked with communication skills, of course, but understanding the value that you or this product provides to the person you are talking to, and presenting it in a way that the person who is receiving the information is convinced that this is the right thing to do. That is selling, and selling you have to learn, you have to know. So again, I think some projects and so on, when you do in towards the third, fourth year in your curriculum, I hope selling is also involved there. This is a little hard for some of the young people to understand, but be goal driven, not opportunity driven, right? It is very, very important. I have worked with many successful people. You just heard a bunch of names, but I have worked with many people across the world who are very successful. They are all goal driven people. So like the quote says, in life, as in football, you won't go far unless you know where the goalposts are, right? Take the two best football teams in the world, maybe Germany, Holland, Argentina, Brazil, whatever, right? Think about it. If I ask you to, would you like to watch a match between Argentina and Brazil or Brazil and Germany? I'm sure 100% of you will say yes. These are the top teams in the world. What if I remove the goalpost? Would you still want to watch? Probably no, because there's nothing left, right? Or if you take cricket, for example, right? If I remove the scores, can you watch the cricket even with the best players in the world for too long? So goal is very, very important. It is similarly in life, goal is very important. So what could be a goal for you at this early stage in your student life for engineering? I think you can make a goal that I want to be in the top 10% of my class, right? You can say I will do a project that has some innovation in it and I want to showcase my capability to innovate. You can say that I want to be working in Google after graduation. You can even put some longer term goals that I want to have my own startup at the age of whatever, 30, 40, any of these goals. But goals are very important. So people who are successful are goal driven. People who do average in life, that is my experience, take opportunity, whatever comes their way. So for example, let me explain it a bit more. Let us say you are seriously interested in working in artificial intelligence, and you get a job at Infosys for artificial intelligence group that pays you maybe 10 lakhs or 5 lakhs. And then you get a job from Microsoft that gives you salary of 20 lakhs. But that job is not in artificial intelligence. Which one will you take? My suggestion to you will be, if you truly like artificial intelligence, if you want to build your long-term career in the artificial intelligence, then take the Infosys job. This is exactly what I mean when I say you have to be goal-driven and not opportunity-driven. Opportunity will come, they will distract you all the time in life. I see engineers changing job after they work in Cisco's and Dell's and Infosys for 10-15% salary increase. That it very clearly tells me they have no goals. You have to have a better reason to change a job or get a job rather than 10-15% of money. Let me throw you some number. If you do well in your career, in the last 10 years of your career, you will earn 5 times more money than in the first 25 years of your career. Did you get it? In the last 5 or 10 years of your career, you will earn 5 to 10 times more money than in first 25 of your careers, provided you do well. And to do well, there are a lot of things that you have to do right. But if you continue to do well, for example, I'll tell you, even in numbers, a vice president in Cisco, you start the pyramid at maybe about 1,000 engineers. Out of 1,000 engineers, one becomes a vice president at Cisco. And this is true for other companies as well. But as a vice president, what you will earn will be, like I said, 5 to 10 times in the last 5 years or 10 years of your career. So the 5, 10%, 20% salary, better salary or worse salary in early part of your career is not at all important in your life. It just feels good because you can brag about it to your friends and maybe even family that I got this kind of salary, but that is not really important. It is important to be goal driven, and we can talk about it later if you have specific questions. Now, it is very generally asked, and some of you have asked this question, your career, how do you really manage? What do you really take as a career? What do you do? So here you see on the left side of the circle here, if you can see my mouse, these are subjects or skills you are interested in. So just to continue the example, maybe you are interested in artificial intelligence. So that is this circle. Now, subject and skills you are talented in. Now, if you are interested in artificial intelligence, you better have the supporting skills that you need. If you do not, then maybe there is some other area for you, maybe mechanical engineering. It can be applied to any area. Then pick that, but there has to be some interest and some talent. And that, when it is mapped on the skills the world needs, then the intersection at the star you see is where your career sweet spot is. So over the next 3-4 years, you figure out what you are good at, what subjects excite you, and how relevant they are to the industry where you would like to work later on. And the intersection of that will decide what career you want to choose, because if you don't have any skills for that career, it will be disaster. If you have no interest in that and you just took it because it gave good money, that you will not do well in the long run. And if you are very interested in something and you even have talent, but nobody really wants that skill today, you will not do well. So I think this is how you pick and decide what you want to do in your career. Just let me see, why is it not? It is frozen for some reason. Okay. All right. So that is on that. Now, there are four gods in addition to the real God you need in your life. And some of this information may be absolutely new to you, but pay attention to it. There are four more gods, inspirers. These are people who inspire you. Uh, it could be any one of the name mentioned there. It could be Rahul Dravid. It could be Narayan Murthy. It could be Michael Dell. Whoever inspires you. You need to have some people who inspire you. It's very important for your mind to know who are the people that you really inspire. Now, inspirers are not the people you want to be like. You may not even play cricket, but you can still get inspiration from Rahul Dravid, who is a very, very close friend of ours. Amazing person. Okay. Role models. You would like to become one of them, right? These could be people from your profession, your CEO of the company, your parents, your uncles, your aunts, your professor, uh, your neighbor, but someone who excites you and says, okay, when I grow up, I want to be like this person. You need to have people like that. You need to have mentors, people who can help you get there. Mentors are successful, knowledgeable, compassionate people who have ideally been there and done that. Uh, in college, generally mentors are professors and could even be senior students, or if you have master's or PhD program, or even students senior to you, they can definitely be a mentor. But I'm sure wherever you come from, in your city, in your neighborhood, there would be somebody who can sort of mentor you. So find mentors as early as possible. And books are amazing mentors. So I always tell people that read 50 books in your professional area and propel yourself to the next orbit. Reading is not as emphasized in India as it has been emphasized outside India. So reading books is very, very important. And I'll come back to that point. So important thing for you is to actually write down who inspires you and why. If Ratan Tata inspires you, why? What do you really like about that? Because your brain is waiting for that signal that you admire this in Ratan Tata, you admire integrity of Narayan, Rahul Dravid, etc. Right? Role models are the people who you would like to become when you grow up. Mentors, as I said, professors, senior students can help you based on your goals, etc. And books you can all read. There is no difficulty in getting any book in 2 days in today's environment. So let me tell you, because books confuse people and they say, hey, how do I go about selecting the book? So I'll describe you my journey of life and how I chose the books to read, right? So first challenge I gave myself to after my PhD, that I wanted to be number one in my field, period, in USA. And so I picked up the books on my technical subjects, that whether they were for graduate students or PhD students or papers or whatever, I read all of those and many books. And even the first role model of mine was a professor called Professor Aviram Bar Cohen, who passed away last year or this year. He was professor at University of Minnesota. And he was the number one person in my field, and I wanted to be like him. And by the grace of God, I became number one in my field. But I read technical books in that journey of mine. Then innovation became important to me, and I'll encourage many of you to go on YouTube and watch my talk on my story and the 5 lessons that can transform you. When you go to YouTube, you type my name, there'll be a lot of videos. I encourage you to watch that. So innovation journey is described there as well. So then innovation was my interest, and I read the top books on innovation and went to Stanford Library and so on, and read that. There was no Amazon at that time. It was hard to get your hands on the books. Then leadership became important to me, and I read the books by the top leaders. Jack Welch was the leader of the century for General Electric and so on. So these are leadership books I read. After that, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, and I did my startups in US and India. So I read all the books on entrepreneurship that are available. I read every possible book on the people that I admire, whether it is John Chambers' book on connecting the dot, or Satya Nadala's book, or Narayan Murthy's book, or Nandan Nilekani's book, Reimagining India, Michael Dell book. Any of these leaders I admired, I read every one of their books, and they are all available for 200-300 rupees. Then I moved into venture capital area, and I read a bunch of books on venture capital area. I was interested in spirituality. Again, if you go to my story in the YouTube video, you will understand my bigger picture, that some of that was described by Bhatnagar Saab. You will learn from that. So spirituality, I have read Autobiography of a Yogi, in Engineering by Sadhguru, and maybe 50 books in that area alone. And just some general books. A $1 Trillion Coach is a phenomenal one, not at your stage in your career, but it's a phenomenal book. Then I was interested in financial area, and I read a bunch of books there, and so many books. So I'm not saying you read these books. I'm just showing that this is how I went through my journey, and whatever challenge was ahead for me, I learned a lot from the books, because books are the best and easiest mentors to get. So that is what I did. Read books, and any questions you have, I'm happy to answer it a bit later. Okay, the screen freezes a little bit, so give me a second here. I do not know why it freezes. Come on. It is frozen, so I will have to. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is the book. Sorry for that. So books, read, guys. And if you pick your first book, pick up a simple book that you can read. If you are not used to reading books, just pick a simple book that you can read. If I have to recommend one, just pick Narayan Murthy's book. It's a bunch of essays and speeches of him, very easy to read. Nandan's book is a bit thick, it's 400-500 pages, but Reimagining India could be a phenomenal book to read. But anyway, just pick even Rahul Dravid's book, actually, if that excites you, Sachin Tendulkar's book. Just get into the habit of reading book and admiring these people and learning from them. That is the key message. So with that, let me tell you, if you want to sort of follow me, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm not active on Twitter and Facebook. So LinkedIn is the best way to get to sort of hear if I have given some other lecture or speech or something. You will hear that there. So join me there and follow me there. And let me open it for questions and answers now. And what we will do is I will first take some questions that were submitted. Let me finish the sharing part here. Let me stop share. Okay, so I am back. And anyone who wants to ask a question right now, or do you want me to answer the questions that you have submitted?
There is one question that they say, okay, we should work in a team. But sir, in teamwork, we will not able to develop our different personality.
Yes, that is a good question. You can, but your individuality takes a second priority when you are working in team. How will you feel if in the Indian cricket team, one of the player just focused on making century and the team loses? How will you feel? Not good, right? So whenever there is a team involved, the team's objective becomes more important than your individual objective. But you still know who Sachin Tendulkar is. You still know who Rahul Dravid is. You still know who Virat Kohli is. it's not like individuality is completely lost. So of course team becomes more important, but it's not like you don't have places to show who you are.
So there is one more question asking one students. He want to ask how to discover our true inner potential.
Yeah, that is a very good question. And you, as over your study period, you just try to see what excites you, what subjects excite you, which people excite you, what industry excites you, and that is why reading broad amount of things are very important for you. Otherwise, you will not know what things are that might excite you. So I think it's very important that you read broad amount of literature about engineering and what is happening and latest developments. And like I said, you need to match the three things. What you like, you will know as you study, you will know which subjects you like, which subjects you don't like. If I go back to your intermediate college, if I asked you, you like physics or chemistry more, would you not know? You know what you like. Some will say chemistry, some will say physics. So as you study engineering over the years, you will like certain things and you will not like certain things. So it's very important that you spend your life on something that you like. So understand and observe what you like. Make sure you have talent in that. And then, like I said, make sure that that is industry need. Then you can develop the that skill in your for your career. Any other questions you want to?
Yes, so there is one question. Navneet Malvi from Computer Science branch, he wants to ask, what are the required important skills to become a good and successful engineer? And how long does it take to be a good one?
So I already talked to you about what it takes to become a good engineer. I discussed some, and these are very few. And how long it takes to become, never. All your life you have to keep learning, and you have to continue to improve yourself. You will be competing with best and best. Like I said, 1,000 people who are hired in Cisco, only one becomes vice president. So you are going to compete with some very bright, equally hardworking, intelligent people. So you need to keep learning, keep improving your subject matter knowledge, keep improving the skills that you need to have. And it's a lifelong journey. Learning never stops.
Thank you, sir. Should I continue with question?
Yeah, you can mix and match live and the questions submitted. But yes, let's keep going so we can answer as many questions as possible.
Okay, sir. There is one question Ayushi Dubey wants to ask. How can we develop our interest in doing things which we do not like to do, but it is compulsory?
Yeah, so that is a very good thought as well. And in life, I have seen people who do well are people who do well in what they like, but they also do well in what they don't like. And people who do well only in the things they like don't go far, because every job involves some things that you like and some things you do not like. You need to do equally well in both. So what will you do if a good batsman drops 5 catches in a cricket match and says, I'm the best person in the batting, but I don't know how to field, I don't want to field, right? That doesn't work. You will, whatever career you choose, you will get some things that you will like, you will get some things you don't like. You have to do well in both.
You're absolutely correct, Vivek bhai. Absolutely correct. Because that we face so many times in our career.
And you have had long career, Arun Bhai, and I have had long career. There are many things I had to do because they were part of the job, good and bad. But you have to do equally well. That is the key. That is the key. Continue, please, Rupali.
Yeah, you cannot take any liberty out of it.
Yes, yes.
Punit Dwivedi from IT branch, he wants to ask, sir, we all know that new technologies are introducing daily. in that condition, how should an engineer cope up with these emerging changes?
Yeah, like I said, you will be learning all your life. So it is not just that once you graduate, you are done. That is just the beginning of the journey. And I read 20, 30 books every year, even now. And I keep updated myself in terms of reading technical papers, reading books. I just finished a book on artificial intelligence and how it will change the world in the next 5 to 10 years, written by an American Chinese author. So you have to learn all your life. Learning stops, you stop growing, period.
So Chinmay Pathak, he wants to ask, how was your journey of becoming a Dell country head?
Yeah, it was what I am telling you. I did exactly what I told you. Same journey, same thing, subject, knowledge, skills, continue to develop, do better than others, because the ratio is very, very steep. When to become the best, to become country head means you are managing 20,000 people, which means that you are better than 20,000 people. There's meritocracy. So in these companies, multinationals and even Infosys and others, it's a meritocracy. You go up only because you are good. There is no experience column there. There is no who you know and who you don't know. All that doesn't count. Your meritocracy stands. So you do what I have just told you. That will take you a long way in becoming country head for whatever company you want to become.
So Shivam Singh from Computer Science branch, he wants to ask what is a patent? And he also wants to know what is your first patent and the problems you have faced to implement it. And how did you get the idea of patent that you're thing?
Yeah, it's a long story. I will recommend him to go and watch the video. Like I said earlier, it is called My Story and 5 Lessons That Can Transform You. There I have described a little bit about my patent. It is an instrument that is used for all hardware designs, and I invented it in 1986, 87. And I have been sort of earning royalty on that. So once you have a patent in your name, you keep earning royalty on that anywhere the instrument is sold around the world. So it's very, very lucrative and rewarding thing, but it's not easy. You need to learn innovation. You need to do a lot of things to make it happen. Please go and listen to my story video there. And what is a patent is an invention. When you invent something new, you actually file a patent with the government authority and claim that this innovation belongs to you. And there is a way to file that, there is a way to write that, but that's what it is. And so I have 6 US patents. They are all in my name. So basically, anyone who wants to use that technology has to take permission from me. That's what patent is.
Sir, Sharik Sheikh, he wants to ask that you and DG Sir both are focusing on academic as well as on extracurricular activities. So how we can balance both the things in our student life?
It's not difficult at all, right? I was extremely sort of active in extracurricular. I was in the team at my college, engineering college. I was in the team of cricket, tennis, badminton, carom, bridge, and maybe more. And I played my badminton almost to country level. North zone I played during the time Prakash Padukone was
That is why you are a great friend, Prakash Padukone.
So that's why I'm friend
Our
of
hero.
Prakash. So
he was our hero.
Yes, he was our hero, and I think most of the students who are here listening to me probably don't know him, but they don't know his daughter, which is Deepika Padukone. So, but Prakash was at that time. So I was very active, and I was active on not just in this. I was active in music. I was active in debates. And I was a gold medalist. So this is what you need to do if you want to differentiate yourself from the race. That is what you have to do, and you have to create time, and that is part of the game. Any other questions?
So
I don't know if there is any time limit, so I'm okay, but as long as the program is fine, so you can keep asking and even take live questions if the time permits. Continue.
There are a lot of questions students keep asking. They have a lot of things they want to ask to you.
So, but Nagar Saab, we continue, right?
It's a pleasure to listen to you, sir. It is a pleasure.
Okay.
We are fortunate that we are getting the word of wisdom from you directly and practical because it's a lifelong journey. That is
absolutely.
You cannot.
So keep asking, Rupali.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, how much time do you need to spend into coding? How much time do you spend into your coding? And
so if coding is your career, if you want to make your career in computer science and coding, then and you really like doing it, then spend as much time as possible, right? How much time Rahul Dravid spends playing cricket, right? In my other talks, you will hear the word passion. I'm not bringing it here because it needs a bit of explanation. But if you are passionate about the area that you are working in, first of all, you enjoy it like you enjoy any other activity. I enjoy, right now I'm giving you a talk. I'm enjoying giving talk as much as I would enjoy playing golf, or I will enjoy watching a movie. It is not like I'm working. So if you enjoy what you do, hours lose time. And they better lose time if you want to do well, because the people you are going to compete with will all be like that. They will be working very, very hard in any area that you want to do well in.
I have given them two words in the beginning: passion and perseverance. They're very, very important to
Absolutely.
shape.
Passion and perseverance is very important and hallmark of any leaders. Any leader, any successful person has these two qualities, passion and perseverance. And some of it is covered in my other lectures in YouTube. So please go ahead and watch those, and you will learn a lot more about these two words, very powerful words.
So Adarsh Tiwari from Mechanical Branch, he wants to ask, everyone said that if you want to achieve success, then first change your thinking. So how much do you believe in this, and how one can develop his ability by changing his thinking?
Well, thinking is alone not going to do it. If I say I want to be president of India and I'm thinking about it, I will not become president of India. But the game starts with thinking. First, you have to think, and that is where the goals become important. And I say I give myself a goal that I want to be president of Cisco. Okay. If you don't even think about becoming president of Cisco, then somebody is not going to go and look for a person and find in their house and ask them to come and become president of Cisco. You have to become capable of becoming president of Cisco. So thinking is the right step, but it's only the first step that I want to do that. That thinking should come into goal. Then for goal, if you want to pursue goals, there's a full process. Again, in my other talks, it is described. Please go and listen to them. And then you can achieve. I strongly believe if you are willing to work hard, you can achieve any goal you set for yourself. It's just how much you want it and how hard you are willing to work for it, and developing the right skills, right subject matter expertise, right leadership skills, and all the things. If you do right, you can pretty much do whatever you want. But it is very hard. And like Mr. Bhatnagar said, persevering is very important. Perseverance means that you will fail many times in your journey, but you persevere, you keep going, you don't sort of give up. And there's no leader, there's no successful person who just succeeds like in the first shot. You keep trying, you will fail, you will make progress, you will fail, you will make progress. And perseverance is exactly that. And all the successful people have probably faced more failures than success, but ultimately they succeed because of their passion and perseverance and their goals that they set for themselves.
Very soon we will discuss with them law of vibration and law of attraction and visualization. Very soon I will take up one lecture how to convert your thinking into action and action into reality, dream.
Absolutely. Everything becomes with dream to thinking to goal to action to strategy to work hard and persevere and so on. So I'm glad that you brought visualization into this. Visualization is very, very, very important part of your success story. It's there are a lot of studies you will get in how people in sports have visualized themselves to be number one in 100-meter race, for example, at Olympics. Or Rahul Dravid, you read in his book, he says that when he used to get up at night to go to bathroom, he would actually practice some strokes. There's no bat in his hand. It's all visualization of the ball is coming here and he's playing it that way. So visualizing your journey, visualizing your destination is very important. I'm happy that Arun will cover it in his lectures to you, but these are very important. So coming back, thinking is the beginning, but from there onwards, it is a great start. If you don't even think, then how will anything happen? But it is not sufficient to get where you want to get. If you only think, you have to move on from there and do 10 other things to get there.
So Ayush Patel, he is asking, please tell us about your failure you have faced in your life, sir, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, many failures. Actually, there is a talk of mine in YouTube somewhere where I have described all my failures, and so just to give you one or two, I told you guys that I came from Fatehpur. I was a student at intermediate college, government intermediate college in the school, and when I gave my IIT entrance exam after my grade 12, the paper was in English. And I couldn't understand many of the questions, so I couldn't come in IIT. I came in IIT Kharagpur with mining I got, but I couldn't answer many questions, and so I failed in IIT tests. But did it stop me? No, I went to NIT and I taught there. So you figure out when you fail, it's part of the game, and I can describe more failures for me. Some of my products have failed, some of my uh, startups may have had challenges and failed, but that's what perseverance is all about. So you fail, you learn, you move on, and you go on to the next journey, and you will ultimately succeed. So many failures. You can probably search for the talk. Many failures I have faced, and I will continue to face. There is nobody in the world who just succeeds in one shot. So it's part of the game. You need to persevere, like Mr. Bhatnagar said.
Our faith should be more stronger than our fear.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So there were questions. Some people prefer safe and steady career like government jobs, and some take risk for their vision, like in startups. What should be the ideal path for a young adult? Should he take risk or go for a steady career?
So that depends. The choice is ultimately yours. Nobody else has right to decide what you do. If you believe that you will be happy by doing, certain government job or certain private job, it's fine. You pursue that dream. Their government people have done amazing stuff. Abdul Kalam started with a government job and became president of India. And so there's so many people who have started. Take your Mr. Bhatnagar, he started with Indian Revenue Services, and did very well there, rose up the ranks, and then after retiring, he's your director. So no matter what job you take, whether it's government or private or engineering or non-engineering, you will be competing with some of the equally smart, hardworking people. If you want to do well, then you will have to work hard, learn the right skills and gain knowledge, and then you will compete. Just like I was describing, becoming a vice president at Cisco, you start with 1,000 people and one becomes. I'm sure the ratio is very similar, Arun Bhai, when you became commissioner,
Definitely.
or whatever the top thing was.
Very tough competition, sir.
Exactly. And
you have to perform. Yeah.
You have to perform. So I think so it's a very good question, and let me take a minute to clarify that. Ask your parents, will they be proud of you if you did a lousy job and just kept on doing whatever was needed to sort of just be happy with that? No, the parents want you to realize your potential. Everyone has a different potential, so that is fine. Everyone cannot be Ratan Tata, everyone cannot be Rahul Dravid. That's fine. But whatever potential you have, you need to make sure that potential is given to you by God, and you realize it and work hard to realize it well. So no matter where you go, whether it's government or private, you need to compete with people, you need to work hard. And that is the fun part. If you don't work hard and go to the next milestone and next milestone, then what is fun in life? So I am not the person who can be happy with just go steady and so on. None of the developments in the world have been done by people who are just going steady, whether it's innovation or medicine or it is leadership or it is all the people have changed the world are people who are not the type of going steady. They have taken the challenge and they have improved themselves and made them ready for challenge, whether it is Mr. Modi, Narendra Modi, or it is Rahul Dravid, or you don't have to become a Rahul Dravid. That's fine, but you need to do what I did, what Mr. Bhatnagar did. So challenge yourself. At the age 20s, if you are starting thinking of study, then I think you are thinking like a retired person at that age.
Sir Ajay Shukla, he wants to ask how to stop worrying about log kya sochenge and focus on ourselves.
Yeah, that is a good question as well. If you follow what most of the people do, then nobody will ask you any question. If you go beyond that, then people will definitely ask you question and challenge you and say that you don't have talent. So every startup, let me tell you, I'm surrounded by startups at this point. Every startup is challenging the status quo. Somebody is challenging Cisco, somebody is challenging Dell, somebody is challenging Infosys, and these are 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people startups. So when you take a path like that, of course, your family and friends, even your well-wishers, with all the good intention, might say that soch lo, ye theek hai ki nahi, you are spoiling your career, you are giving up a good job at Cisco and doing this startup. That is part of the game, but you are not going to live life based on what other people like or dislike. It's your life. You're going to live life the way you want it and be proud of it at the end. Right? So I think follow the path that makes the journey exciting for you so that you can enjoy the journey, as well as when you reach the destination, whatever that is, you enjoy that destination.
So should I continue?
Important questions ले लें खाली जो 10 questions छांटे हैं सर ने वो जो top 3 questions हैं.
Yes, sir. So the Adarsh Tiwari from Mechanical Branch, he wants to ask, curiosity is necessary to succeed, but how to maintain our curiosity?
Yeah, a very good question. Curiosity is when you want to learn, you are curious, right? So curiosity is a sign of your interest in learning. If you are interested in learning, you will be curious, how does this work? How did he or she do this? So that curiosity is a learning process. And I think people who have done well in their careers have this trait throughout their life. They are curious. They are avid learners. I mean, every startup that I talk to, I'm learning from them, right? Whether they are 20-year-old or 30-year-old or doesn't matter. When I'm talking to CEOs, I'm interested in learning from them. When I'm working with Steve Jobs or John Chambers or Michael Dell, I'm interested in learning from them. They are interested in learning from me. So curiosity is sort of a desire to learn, and it's something that one has to harness throughout life, not just during the student life. So great question. Continue to be curious.
Okay. Sir, there is one more question from Prakhar Gupta. He's saying, I have seen your video Dream Startup in 7 Steps on YouTube, and I really liked it. Suppose I follow all 7 steps with full dedication, which mentioned by you, but still I don't earn profit in next 2-3 years. Then what should be my second plan to achieve success and profit?
Yeah, good question again, and thanks for watching the video. So 9 out of 10 startups fail, right? But still people do startups, and very smart people do startups. Actually, average people generally don't do startups. So these are very smart people. They know that failure is part of that journey, and they work hard. The obstacles will be phenomenal because you are challenging a Cisco, which has 80,000 people, $60 billion revenue, and there is a company called Level, for example, that I'm my portfolio companies, that has maybe 100 people, and they are in the SDN area, software defined networks, and they are challenging Cisco. What is the comparison? So it will be hard. It will be hard. And some will fail, some will succeed. So it's part of the journey. I don't think failure should bother people who want to do startups. It is part of the game. But if your temperament is not like that, then maybe startup is not right for you. So that only a mentor can tell you. But failure is part of it, and there is a systematic way to do startup, which I described in that video. Follow that if you want to do startups and see where it goes, and work your tails off to make the startup work. Every startup that is successful today has almost come back from the brink of bankruptcy. They all almost failed, and then they survived and persevered through these challenges. So don't be afraid of challenges and failure if you want to do a startup.
So we are getting a lot of questions continuously for you, but just last one more question I would like to ask you with your permission.
Sure.
He's Vedant Khandelwal from CS branch, and he wants to ask. So you have worked with many popular business persons. Who's your favorite and why?
Yeah. So I've worked with 5 people that I described to you: David Packard, Bill Hewlett, Michael Dell, Steve Jobs, and John Chambers. These are outside India, but within India also, I have had an opportunity to work with some phenomenal leaders who you know the name of, whether it's Mr. Premji or Mr. Murthy or so many other people. So, but professionally, I have worked with those people, and your question is who is the sort of best? There is actually no one that is best. Michael Dell is good in something. Steve Jobs is good in something. John Chambers is good in something. Phenomenal, and they are all phenomenal people. They are not there by accident. They are there for a reason, and there is a tremendous opportunity for you to learn from them. But you don't get to learn from the, sort of work with them just like that. Very selected people get to work with some of these people. They don't have any patience of mediocrity and things like that. They like very high performing people around them because they have big objectives and so on. So they are all great leaders. But if I have to pick one, I will pick Steve Jobs because obviously he did what he did. Everyone knows Steve Jobs. He created, um, and he himself failed. Just to answer earlier question, Steve failed many times, and in the first version of Steve Jobs, he was fired from Apple. He was literally fired from Apple, and he was walked out of the door of his own company. He had failed that miserably. The board of Apple asked him to walk out of the company, and then read his journey. Again, read his book. If that excites you, go and pick Steve Jobs' book. It's available on Amazon, and read about it. But then second time, when Apple was not doing well, when Apple was going almost bankrupt, then Steve came back and took control. And then he designed iMac and phone and all these products that you see now. And now it is the most successful and highest market cap company in the world, right? So that is the power of Steve Jobs. What I liked about him is his ability uh, to understand the product. Right, his ability to understand the product is phenomenal, and he's the one who said, again, most of you will not sort of appreciate this comment, but he is the one who said that customers are not supposed to know what they need. While Jeff Bezos says that, Jeff Bezos is of Amazon, he says start from customer need and create the product they need. So they start from very different ends. Jeff Bezos says start from customer, and Steve says don't even ask customer. You need to know what product they need and what products he designed. These design products that change the world. So my favorite is Steve Jobs for his creativity and innovation. But I have highest respect for John Chambers and Michael Dell and David Packard and Vic Hewlett and many, many Indian leaders. They are all there for a reason. They have worked their tails off. They have worked very, very hard. They have persevered. They are very passionate. They have done their homework before they get where they are. So have respect for every successful person. But to answer your question, my favorite is Steve Jobs, but I have respect for all of these people.
सर, ये ओनर ऑफ टेस्ला एलॉन मस्क,
yes,
ये वहीं सो जाता है, मतलब फैक्ट्री में ही सो जाता है.
So one of the persons I mentored at Dell in India, he worked for Elon Musk directly. And before he took up the job, he asked me, should I take up this job or not? And I told him that, yes, you should, because you will get to work with this level of people, which is not a joke. That is the plus. But now comes the negatives, right? These people are very impatient. They are very driven. Their bar is very high, so they expect everyone to jump that bar as well. And they are not easy to work with. Not because they are bad people, because they are in a journey. They have to go 100 miles in very short period of time, and they don't have time for niceties. And they are very polite, and some of them are not. So it is not easy to work with these people, but again, Elon Musk is Elon Musk. He single-handedly created an industry, and he's a phenomenal person. I would have loved to work with him any day. But these people are just amazing. A lot to learn. And my suggestion to the students is read their books. You will not be able to talk to Elon Musk, but you can just get a book about Elon Musk and read it. You can get a Steve Jobs books and read it. You can get Michael Dell's book and read it. You can get John Chambers' book and read it. You can get Narayan Murthy's book and read it. All of this is available to you. The book will be delivered to you in less than 3 days. So that's why I said books, and more books. Okay, Rupali, anything else?
So we have a lot of questions, but we have less time. So rest of the question will be mailed to you, sir.
Okay. Okay, I may not be able to handle it in mail, but I wish all the students luck. I think what I have shared with you, if you have learned even 20% of that, you will be very successful. So hopefully you have recorded this talk, Rupali.
Yes, sir.
Feel free to put it on YouTube so that other
students.
It's live.
It is live on YouTube, sir.
But recording भी डाल दीजिएगा उसमें, so that people who have missed this session can go back and listen to it. And the same people who have actually attended it, please go back to it and listen to again and again. Every 6 months you listen to this talk, you will learn something different from this talk. So please do that, and all the best to all the wonderful students. And I know a lot of faculty has joined from the institute. I appreciate their time. And once again, Arun Bhai, it has been a pleasure. As I said, you are just a wonderful person yourself and have done so much. And now you are doing so much for the institute and creating the next generation of Indians in hundreds and thousands. What better way to give back to the nation than that? So thank you again for all that. And anything else, Rupali, you want me to do now?
Sir, announcement winners
Yes,
of
sir.
3 questions which you
Yes,
have.
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So I think I received about 20 odd questions, and I think I have to select the top 3 of these questions. And here are the people I have selected. So number 1 question is from Navneet Malviya from CS first year. Number 2 question is from Puneet Trivedi from IT. And number 3 question is from Adarsh Tiwari for ME, mechanical engineering, I guess.
Thank you so
So
much, sir.
congratulations to you guys. Be curious, keep learning, and all the best.
So they will get the cash award of 3,000, 2,000 and 1,000 cash prize.
Wonderful, wonderful. So उनको ये मत दीजिए सर, उनको books खरीद के दीजिए
Books,
इतने पैसे की.
done, sir, done, sir. Yeah, that is accepted. Sir, now regarding the extracurricular activities, and we have done some, program where they have presented dance and poetry and song. So we have selected out of dance. The judges selected Arthav Vyas from EC for dance performance. As far as poetry was concerned, the judges selected Mishti Shandilya from CS. And as far as songs were concerned, there was a tough competition, very tough competition. And the winner is Anand Verma from EC. So all 3 will get 1,000 rupees books as Dr. As
No cash award, sir. That applies. That will apply to even faculty.
Now this is a rule in IST and IP and IMR. We will give books.
Yeah, you may want them to select the books. That's okay. You tell them that you have 3,000. You can select the books that you want, and I'll order it. It will be ordered by the college, given to them. And same thing I recommend for faculty, sir. सबको books दीजिए. In educational institution में तो no other price should be there.
इस बार इंक्रीमेंट में बुक ही दे दूंगा इनको.
नहीं वो थोड़ा मुश्किल सवाल है.
ठीक है नहीं, but we will encourage, sir. Because that's a great learning, and our library is good, and we will further supplement good books as suggested by yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Again, happy, and I hope the students learned something from this interaction. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you, Arun Bhai, for inviting me. And yes, I will visit the institute whenever Corona situation comes in control.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really an enlightening and motivating lecture, and it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to listen things from you. Now it's time to show gratitude to our honorable guest, and for that I call upon Anushka Dubey from Computer Science branch. Over to you, Anushka.
Anushka, please unmute yourself.
Anushka, are you there?
Anushka? Hello, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible, beta. Continue.
A very warm and graceful noon to the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Vivek Mansingh, respected DG, sir, CAO, sir, principals of IIST, IIP, and IIMR, HODs, faculties, and my dear batchmates. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. It is the time to show our gratitude to all those people who have given their time and encouraged all of us to take one step ahead towards a successful engineer. I, Anushka Dubey from CS branch, take this privilege to extend a hearty vote of thanks to our today's speaker, Dr. Vivek Mansingh, for sparing some time for us and delivered his expert talks. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts on what does it takes to become a successful engineer, and it was a really interactive session. Thank you so much for such an informative and motivating talk. After listening to you, we really feel encouraging. Your virtual presence really matters for our institution as well as us. I must also mention a deep sense of appreciation to our Honorable DG Sir as well for his encouragement and guidance. It's really a great vision of a successful leader of a successful organization. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thanks to the team of IIST for their perfect coordination and technical support. Last but not the least, thanks to all. Have a good day.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Anushka.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
very
much,
much.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
A
I'm
wonderful
logging off.
session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful
Have a good day,
session.
sir.
Wonderful.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Students, you will remain in the meeting because we are
Very
continuing.
nice. Let me, appreciate our students. Excellent questions, and really, I'm very much impressed by their performance in extracurricular activities, as well as the way they were asking questions. And vote of thanks in not only today but earlier days also. They are showing a huge potential. And let me assure you,